I woke up to the sound of someone swinging a sledgehammer, and it wasn't a nightmare. It was real, and it was happening in my garden. When I ran outside there, she was Evelyn Walsh, the self-declared queen of our HOA mid-swing, taking down my brand-new fence like it had personally offended her. And all because I had the nerve to build it across what she called her community hiking trail. Let me back up a second. I'd just moved to Alder Hills, Oregon, dropped my life savings on 5 forested acres, hoping to finally live out this quiet dream of restoring a native ecosystem. I spent 10 years working city contracts in Portland as a landscape engineer, scraping by to make this happen. I wasn't expecting peace to be easy, but I definitely didn't expect war. First time I met Evelyn, she was leading a group of neighbors right through my land, like they were on a guided tour. I jogged over thinking, okay, honest mistake. Let me show them the property lines and clear this up. But the moment I said, hey, this is actually private land, she shot me that smug HOA smile and said, oh, honey, this trail's been here for over 15 years. It's basically sacred. I pointed to the crushed trilliums, tried to explain how long it takes those plants to grow. But she wasn't hearing any of it. She just said, you can't come into our neighborhood and start putting up walls. The HOA will have something to say. That night I called Eric, a buddy of mine, who's a lawyer in Bend. He confirmed it no easement, no right-of-way. I was 100% within my rights. But he warned me that doesn't mean it'll be easy. And it wasn't. By sunrise, I was public enemy number 1 on the HOA Facebook page. Evelyn had posted something like, new guy wants to destroy our historic trail. And the comments? Whew. I was called a nature hater, a city snob, even a communist at one point. Yeah, that happened. Still, I wasn't backing down. I made a simple sign, private property, no trespassing. Classy, clear, no attitude. The next morning, someone had spray painted it with tree killer in dripping red letters. I marched out there and saw Evelyn standing in front of the vandalized sign like she was giving a lecture. I asked her straight up, did you do this? She pulled a hand to her chest like I'd insulted her ancestors. Goodness, no, she said loud enough for the dog walkers nearby to hear. But honestly, people are passionate about this trail. I told her I had security cameras. Total bluff, but the flicker in her eyes was worth it. Then came the HOA meeting. Evelyn waltzed in with a binder of complaints and her personal fan club. She got up and spun this dramatic tale of how I was destroying community unity. I waited my turn, then calmly laid out my deed survey maps, even photos of the ecological damage. It was going okay, until Tom Yates stood up. Tom's the kind of guy who doesn't say much, but when he does, people listen. He goes, funny. Evelyn's all about nature now. She clear-cut her lot back in '09 to build a patio the size of a tennis court. You could hear jaws dropping. Evelyn turned crimson. That same night I found a fine taped to my truck's windshield, $500 for unauthorized signage. Real petty stuff. That was my sign, no pun intended, that Evelyn wasn't done. So I took the next step. Hired a contractor, paid him $300 a day, and we started building a legal, beautiful cedar fence. No HOA rule could touch it, and that's when things went full circus. I noticed a white van with a satellite dish, a couple cars with press plates. I peeked out the window and boom, there's Evelyn being interviewed by the local news tears in her eyes, saying I was blocking elderly neighbors from their only connection to nature. So I went live on social media, showed the trail trash everywhere. Creek erosion trampled native plants, spoke straight to camera like a nature doc. It exploded. Within hours, I had 15,000 views support pouring in from around the country. Next thing I know, I get a letter from Evelyn's lawyer. They accuse me of emotional distress, defamation, even environmental destruction. It was absurd and clearly meant to scare me into backing down. But then, a twist. My new security cameras caught Evelyn's grown son, Kyle, sneaking into my property at 2:15 a.m. He plants a fake conservation sign near my creek. That same day, the county shows up with a complaint about environmental violations. You can't make this stuff up. I show the footage to the inspector. Her eyes narrow, and she goes, "You just saved us both a lot of time." Then Tom hits me with another bombshell. He shows up with a historical survey map from 1886. That trail, it started as a logging path. It was never public, never anything more than access for hunters. That blew Evelyn's whole narrative apart. At the next HOA meeting, she tried one last move, pulled out what she claimed was an easement agreement. But our treasurer, Lisa, spotted fake seals and mismatched signatures. Then I pulled out Kyle's vlog. Yeah, he accidentally uploaded a rant about faking the signs and helping his mom lie. The room went silent. A few gasps. One lady actually said, "Oh, hell no." They held a vote. 26 to 11. Evelyn was removed from the board, publicly censured, and reported for document fraud. She moved out within a month. 6 months later, the fence came down. The county officially recognized my land as protected habitat. The trail was rerouted to public land, and I helped design interpretive signs for it. Evelyn's old house sold to a young couple who actually asked if they could help plant wildflowers. Funny how that works. But now I want to hear your story. Have you ever had a neighbor cross the line? Someone who thought rules didn't apply to them? Drop your thoughts below, because sometimes the people who yell the loudest about community are the ones tearing it apart.